Hey everyone, welcome back. It's been a long winter, but we're finally out of it and it's spring on the homestead. I know it doesn't look like it, but it is. This is life in Canada. We get a lot of snow, we get a lot of rain, kind of roll the dice and see what you get day to day. But so springtime means a lot of things here on our homestead. We're starting our garden inside. We got the seeds planted. Turkeys are laying their eggs, chickens are laying their eggs. We got so much stuff happening. We got to clean up from the winter mess and get ready for the spring and the summer. But one of those things that I actually really look forward to every spring is tapping our maple trees to make some beautiful maple syrup. So this year we decided to change up our method of how we collected our maple sap and how we tapped our trees. We used the 5-gallon buckets with the tubing and spile. We found we have a lot less waste if we don't collect it in time. We don't have to come out as often to collect our maple taps, and it's been working just fine. We had a couple hiccups. We had our spile issues where we ordered some from Amazon and they weren't the best, so we went to our local co-op and we replaced them. But everything worked out in the end, and we have our beautiful maple syrup product. Now, we started our maple tapping about 2 weeks ago, and we've had lots of flow. It's been great weather, tons of sap, and we've probably got about 2 batches of maple syrup done already. So come with me. We're going to go back in time. I'm going to show you guys how we tap these maples, how we set everything up, and how we made our delicious homestead maple syrup. Thanks for following along, guys. Let's go. We selected some maple trees that were a little closer to the house, and Paul's going to drill 2 holes in these 5-gallon buckets right at the top. And of course, the turkeys heard noise and commotion going on, so they had to come and supervise and make sure everything was going according to plan. So once we connected the spiles to the tubes and Paul had the holes drilled in the bucket, he put a nail in the tree here just so it could hold the bucket up, and then he's going to tap the tree. And tapping the tree is really as simple as just taking your drill bit and marking it at the 1.5-inch mark and drilling that hole into the tree and tapping in your spile. When you're done drilling your hole, just make sure it's all clean from any debris. If you put in your spile and there's anything clogging it up, the sap will just pour down out of the hole and not actually go through your spile. Also, just be gentle when you're tapping in the spile, as it could break if you hit it too hard. You just want to tap it in enough that it goes inside of the hole and it fits snugly. And boom, look at that. Lots of sap there. All right, so the maple trees are definitely awake here in New Brunswick. Going around collecting our taps right now. These are just the ones we have around the house. Just use a 4-liter bucket.
This one's dripping good too.
We just replaced our tap things here from the old ones that we got from Amazon.
Yeah, we were using these, but they just didn't do the job as well. So these ones were much nicer.
Yeah.
A little tighter.
Now we're getting some proper flow. As you can see, we wasted some sap there, but we caught it and now we're going to be collecting it up. Oh, that bucket's pretty full.
Yeah.
You can see it.
I think I'm gonna need like a funnel or something.
Yeah, next time we'll bring a funnel out. How much sap do you think we got there?
Oh, hold on. 3.5 gallons.
Yay.
Yep.
More sap.
Yeah.
It's our second day of collecting again. We have about, what, 15 gallons in the house right now?
About that, yeah.
And then it's probably about another 5 gallons here that we've collected.
Yeah. One of our buckets fell off the tree. The screw that held it broke. So we had to do a repair on that.
Yeah.
So we lost about a gallon maybe 2. But next year I'm going to use nails instead of screws on these, definitely.
But the buckets are working. We normally just use a spile with like a 4-liter, but these tubes, after Paul replaced the spiles, are starting to really work. They're filling up quick. Okay. We've already started to boil some off. I'll show you how we like to do our method of it. It's a little bit unique, but it works, so I'll show you guys what we do there. But for now, we got to get all of our taps collected. Got 2 more there, these 2, and then another one at the back of the property. All right, we took a little break from our chores to come take a walk in our woods because we haven't seen them in, what, since January?
Yeah, this is a new trail we put in the fall.
Yeah. It's nice to finally get back here. The snow was really, really thick, and it was like a really cold winter. It's nice to be out of it. We got lots to do, so can't keep waiting on winter to leave.
There's the biggest tree on the property.
That's here an old white pine. See there? Big old tree. A lot of this property was logged before we bought it, like many years ago. So there's a lot of new growth trees and maples and birches here, but we have the odd few big old trees left.
A lot of maples coming up in the future. And we lost the top here.
Oh yeah.
Some deer tracks.
Deer were here. It's just nice to get out on the property, see what's happened in the last few months. Okay, so Paul found a trail camera that I guess we forgot.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting, see what's been down here.
Yeah, it's got, it was left on until the batteries died, so.
Yeah.
Wow. We'll see. Got a
Just-
lot of moisture inside its lens, but we'll see what,
that?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
But that's being left up, geez. Gotta be since December.
Yeah.
And we're middle of March now, so who knows what this is gonna have on it.
We just seen here some maples, some future prospect trees that we can actually tap. They're not big enough yet, but who knows?
That one's starting to get there.
Yeah, and they're accessible. Something that we can actually get back here and collect.
Yeah, that's off the trail, maybe.
Yep.
Let's see that one there too, another one.
Another one.
There actually is a lot of maples on the property. They're just young.
Yeah, some young maples, but they're coming up.
This is flowing really good.
It is flowing.
Wow.
Bucket's like full.
Oh my gosh. Yep, it is. Yeah, really nice. Probably what, 3.5 gallons? So we'll give it another filter.
Both of those buckets are full. 2
Yeah.
5-gallon pails. That was just from the 4 trees we have here. Or sorry, from the 4 buckets we have here and the 2 trees.
Yep.
But
That's good.
yeah.
Right? And if you're ever wondering how to ID a maple, so if you're wanting to tap maples, and it doesn't matter if it's a sugar maple, red maple, whatever, if you look up at the tips, especially on the tips of the where the buds are, you can see where the twigs are growing. They're growing opposite each other. So on a lot of trees, they'll grow, they'll separate, whereas on these ones, if you look at the tips here, the growth from the main stem, the tips, the twig tips are growing out from directly across from each other, so they're opposite. And that's a way to know if you have a maple. That's a good example right there on that branch coming out. You can see the twigs growing out directly opposite of each other.
Oh yeah, I see that.
And that's
one
another
right
feature of a
there.
maple. So if you can't ID the tree, look for that. It helps narrow down the search.
That's some good info.
Yeah. Most trees, most of them have that light flaky bark. Some have a smooth bark too.
I guess that depends on the kind of maple.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Light grayish kind of flaky bark.
All right, well, take this back and start another batch of sap. This year is really productive. Hey, Froey. Hi, Fro. Come here. Hi, baby. Yeah, hi, baby. Hi, Fro. Okay, so this is how Paul and I render our sap into syrup. We just sit them in some turkey roasters, let them slowly evaporate down, and then once we've finished using up all of our sap that we've collected, we bring it inside and then we finish it off on the stove. The last time we did this, we got about 2 liters of syrup. So it took a few days, but it's worth it in the end. I would love to have a sugar shack where I have a proper evaporator that's wood fed, but right now that's just not in the cards. We have a lot of stuff going on, so for the last few years I've been doing this and I found it's worked out pretty well for me. As you can see here, it's slowly steaming off without getting too hot. Now for the amount of sap we have now, it's going to take a little bit of time, probably a day or so, but it's all good. We have the time. This just sits here in the shed and slowly renders down, and we just keep topping it up, keep adding to it until it gets to a point where we got to bring it inside and finish it off. Well, the girls are enjoying spring, that's for sure. They're all out here getting their greens or whatever they can find, their bugs, little fresh shoots. Girl, hey girl. A good portion of the chickens are still inside, but these ones decide they want to come out and see everything. You guys want to go help me collect some sap? No? Lazy. Look at this one hiding. What are you hiding? What are you hiding? No, I'm just trying to see what's going on. All right, I guess enough fun with the chickens. Time to go get some work done. Let's go collect this sap. Okay, so I just finished collecting all the sap. We have probably a little over 20 gallons of sap here, plus both of our turkey roasters are full. And it's just a waiting game of now adding the sap to these turkey roasters as it all evaporates and kind of renders down. You just laid an egg. Look, she just laid an egg right there in front of me.
No way.
She's looking at me all weird. I got it all on film. Huh?
That's not good. She's supposed to be laying in boxes.
Oh wow, look. That was hilarious.
She's like, nope, me.
That was so funny.
No, you're getting jealous.
And this one.
Jeez. You guys don't need to be jealous.
It's hard to see with all that steam, but
We should get close to around a gallon of sap or syrup by the time it's all said and done in this.
yeah. All right, there we are. I'm gonna take you guys in and finish it off on the stove. Okay, so we've started finishing our maple syrup here. It's on the stove. We have it at a medium heat right now, just to kind of bring it up to boil, and once it's boiling, I'm gonna drop it down to probably a low. You just don't want it to get too hot, but the temperature we're looking for is 219. That's what we're gonna bring our syrup to, then we'll bottle it after that. So we still got a while to go. It's only 207, 208, not even boiling yet. But Paul made some lovely pancakes with blueberries, so we're gonna enjoy that with our last batch of syrup. It's really steamy, so when you do this inside, just turn on your fan. There you go. Soon we'll have some nice maple syrup. It smells so much like maple syrup right now in this house. Okay, so we're bouncing around 217, 218. At this point, if you were using a smaller pot, you really want to keep an eye on it because it could overflow. But I'm using a pretty large stock pot here, so I don't have to worry about that. Just keeping an eye on my temperatures because I don't want it to go past 219, but I want to make sure it's a solid 219. So, as you see here, 218, 217. Here we are. That's some nice maple syrup from our Homestead trees. All right, we're gonna filter this out now. Just wanted to filter it in the big stock pot here. So I have my felt filter here. I just got a roll from Dollarama, cut it up, washed it, and then decided it's good enough to use. I've already used it on my last batch and it did pretty well. Look at that stuff. This is just a more cost-efficient option than buying the regular ones, but you could definitely get the regular filters if you need to. They work great as well. See, it's all draining in there. Now, once it's all filtered through, we're gonna go put it in our jars here that we've heated up in the oven to kind of sterilize them. But they're really nice. First year I'm using actual maple jars.
Yeah, normally you're using canning jars.
Yeah. And this maple syrup will be available at the stand this year, so if you guys stop on by, you can get some of our homemade maple syrup.
I'm just filtering out the niter maple sand.
Mm-hmm. You can see there's a lot of niter in there, and this is after we've already did a double filter on it, so it's good just to filter it one more time after you've got your syrup done.
Bubbles go down a bit. What do you think today?
So there you have it. We have 12 of these 250 ml jars, and then we had an extra, this little mason jar that we filled up for ourselves. A lot of syrup in this go. I think this was the biggest batch we've ever done, but it tastes great. It looks great. Look at that rich color. So I just have to clean up the tops. It just got a little syrup on it from canning it up here, and then put the lids on, put my labels on, and they'll be ready. Beautiful. Okay, so there you have it, fully labeled, sealed, and ready for the pantry or for the stand. Looks great. This takes a lot of work, but it's definitely a labor of love. It's fun to tap maple trees. If it's your first time or you've been doing it for many years, it's always exciting to get that first batch. Look at that. Nice clear, no sediment. I really like that filter system that we got. Works very well. Just had to wipe off all the sticky stuff from the jars. Get the label on and the lid. There we have her. Homemade maple syrup. Well, thanks for following along, everyone, and I hope you join us on the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Bye, everyone.